non-technical leaders of technical projects. So I had a question from Tony V. You gave 3 problems that non-technical technology project leaders have to figure out. I'm a non-technical project lead on a software project. What do I need to know about these things? Greetings, I'm Dr. Will, and welcome to Dr. Will's Software Project Leadership channel, where we focus on building real software to solve real problems. Recall the 3 problems: bewilderment, the twos, and risky business. Bewilderment is that feeling of being dazed and confused from all the jargon or BS you might be hearing from the technical team. The twos are why is software too expensive, too late, and too buggy. And risky business is the realization that the development of software entails risk that must be managed. If you're already subscribed to the channel, thank you very much. Appreciate that. If you'd like more content like this, then subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when new content becomes available. Also, if you're interested in a more in-depth exploration of this, we'll provide a link to a short video in the show notes. So let's be clear that what we want is to have a successful software or technology project, but there are 3 barriers standing in your way. The first barrier is bewilderment, being overwhelmed by the amount of arcane knowledge shielded in layers of jargon and BS. It puts you behind the eight ball every time the discussion drifts into the technical aspects of the project. The second barrier is what I like to call the twos. That's that software is too expensive, too late, and too buggy. Lacking software domain knowledge, you have trouble understanding the cost, schedule, and quality impacts of the decisions that are being made, and it makes it hard to take those project issues to higher management or to the customer. And the third barrier is the inherent risks of software technology projects, which makes developing software a risky business. Remember, I said that DeMarco and Lister called it project management for adults. So bewilderment, that feeling of being overwhelmed or dazed and confused, you want to have clarity, comprehension, and confidence. So it's not just getting a buzzword dictionary, but rather understanding the relationships among the process used to develop the product that is being developed and the people who are doing the development. So you want to define the process. Recall that we can't measure the software or the product, so we need to have a firm grip on the process that we're using to build it. That means the process has to be defined, and that definition actually has to be followed. We also need to specify the product. How do we know what we're building? How do we express that to the customer or the client? How do we express that within the team so that everybody is working on the same thing? So the customer gets what they need, their problem solved, and the team is all aligned on what the outcome is going to be. And finally, you have to lead the people. Speaking of the team, most teams are not really so mature that they can lead themselves. So they need guidance and coaching in order to make them an effective team while growing and becoming a better team at the same time. Now the twos, where software is too expensive, too late, too buggy, you want to have a balanced, conscious approach to trade-offs. In software or technology development projects, we have a model that's called the iron triangle that explains the relationship among cost, schedule, features, and quality. In particular, we need to focus on taming the cost, where we take the software technology projects that are hugely dependent on people because it's a people business. And most of the costs then are tied up in personnel, wages, benefits, and all those other costs that are associated with staff, either contractor or employees. You have to control the schedule. The schedule is determined by the process, product, and people. And the discipline that the team can maintain in balancing the project work, which is important, long-term, non-urgent work, with any urgent, non-project work that impinges on them. And finally, you have to assure the quality of the product. The interesting thing about quality is that the more particular the project is about quality, the more likely they are to have a successful project, assuming they can avoid being interrupted. If you're doing an MVP, the minimum viable product, the minimum in minimum viable product refers to the feature set, not the quality. What about features? Well, it depends entirely on the project, on the specifics of your project, and that will drive the relationship among the other 3. Finally, it's a risky business. Inherent risks in software or technology projects, you have to master risk management. Risk is the chance of loss, so the key concepts are loss and chance. First, you have to identify and assess the risks. There are common risks, those that occur on nearly all software or technology projects, and there are those that are unique to the project you are running. You need to know the common risk and be able to figure out those unique to your project. Next, we need to be able to react to and mitigate the risks. What do you do when what you have feared would come to pass does? Let's say a major backer for your project decides to pursue other opportunities. You need to know that that has happened, and having thought through this beforehand, execute your plan B, which is probably to find another backer. Ultimately, our goal is to proactively manage the risks. This should not be, or better not be, a heavyweight process, like a big corporation risk management team, but rather something that is lightweight and effective. Being proactive means staying ahead of the curve. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So, Tony, I hope that scratches the surface of what you need to know about these problems. There's more. Even more important is what to do about them before they turn your project into yet another software and technology disaster. Like the landscape is littered with failed software and technology projects. This channel is dedicated to helping software projects succeed, not just in the short term, but in the long. So if you'd like more content like this, then hit the link below to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when more content is available. Also, if you have any questions, put them in a comment and I'll be happy to answer them in a future episode. That's it for me, for you for now. You be careful out there. Have a great day and a great week ahead. I'll be seeing you. Bye.